with Gardner Counseling Services. Today I'm going to talk about resilience in relationships. How are your relationships? I'm going to do a series here, and so you'll be able to click on additional videos where we're going to take this step by step. So when I look at relationships, I liken it, or I like to compare it to a volleyball net. You have one pole, you have another pole, and then you have the net in the middle that's tied to each one of the poles. So the strength of that net in the middle is only as strong as the weakest pole. So if you have this pole and that pole, let's say that's the weakest pole, then when pressure is placed on that net, then that's going to eventually happen. So that net is only as strong, the strength of that net, as the weakest pole. This one strong pole can't do it all by itself. So I compare that to, you have person A, you have person B, and that net is the relationship. It's the coupleship. One person, two person. The coupleship is like a third entity here. I'm going to give you practical strategies for how to develop resilience in all your relationships. So there's going to be three parts. One part is going to be for you to know yourself. I'm going to help you learn yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Until you know who you are, and that sounds so easy and cliche these days, but do we really get it? Do you really know who you are? Do you really know what your strengths are? What are your weaknesses? What are your habits? What are your good habits? Habits that you want to keep. What are the habits that you don't want to keep? What are your buttons? We all have buttons. We have these buttons that if this person does this, or if this happens to me, boom, it pushed my button. And pushing your button is a way of saying you're going to react some kind of way. It could be overreact, it could be underreact. You could shrink. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to freeze, or you could be more aggressive. So we're going to unpack that. We're going to dive into that. What are your likes and dislikes? What do you really like and dislike? And without making it relative to what other people are going to think. What are your needs and your wants? Sometimes we learn not to ask for what we want, especially as females in this society. Sometimes we're not good at coming right out and asking for what we want. So, what do you want? What are the differences in between your wants and your needs? Do you need this experience? Do you need this person to stay around? Do you need this favor from this person? Do you need to hear a certain thing? What are your needs and what are your wants? What do you like and what do you dislike? Another area, what do you value? That's another way of saying it. What do you value? What's important to you? Is it work? Is it relationships? Is it solitude? Would you rather be around people and connect with people? Is that what fills your tank and make you feel more grounded and happy and peaceful? What makes you tick? So we're going to take a look at that as well. You're gonna explore your ability to commit, your ability to negotiate, your ability to take care of yourself and nurture yourself. What about your conflict resolution skills? Do you know how to talk things through? Which takes me to the next one, your communication style. How do you communicate? Do you know 85% of communication is nonverbal? There's the words you say, content, there's body language, there's tone, there's your facial expression, there's your posture, and then there's context, what's going on in the environment. How do you communicate? What is your communication style? We're going to look at your personality. Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Outgoing or would you rather stay home? We're going to look at intimacy. I'm going to explore multiple types of intimacies. There's emotional intimacy. Do you have the ability to be vulnerable, emotional? Do you have words for your emotions? Do you even value emotions? In most relate Healthy, resilient relationships. I'm talking about a relationship where you got two people that are living that are fulfilled in the relationship. You don't get by without emotions. We're going to look at intimacy, share closeness. How connected do you feel? How intimate do you feel? Do you have that all is well feeling? Intimacy, emotional intimacy, intellectual intimacy, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy, sexual intimacy. So we're going to look at all of the various types of intimacies. I'm going to unpack that and we'll see where you are on that. Do you have the ability to be intimate, to be really close to someone, or would you rather push back? All of these are important if you want to be in a resilient relationship. And finally, we're going to look at attachment styles. What is your attachment styles? Are you a more anxious person? We call that a preoccupied anxious. That's John Bowlby's attachment style theory. Are you a preoccupied anxious person? That's the person that learns to connect through anxiety, worry, fear. Your brain gets hijacked, can't calm down. Spinning thoughts. I worry, I worry, I worry, I worry, I worry. What about this? What about that? What about analysis paralysis? So we're going to look at your attachment styles because that has a lot to do. That actually has everything to do with how you show up in relationships, why you do the things you do, and what you can do to remedy that so that it doesn't work against you and sabotage your relationships. Fearful avoiding attachment style. Come close. Okay, that's close enough. Now go away. The fearful avoiding, as with any avoidant, is not comfortable with people getting close. The preoccupied anxious attachment style is very comfortable, very vulnerable with feeling, with their emotions, with putting themselves out there, with being known and exposed. The avoidant, not so much. So the avoidant wants people to be in their lives, but you're only going to be so far, so close. You're only going to get to know so much of me. So that's what the fearful avoidant. Come close, now go away. They put distancing strategies there. And then the dismissive avoidant. That's the one that avoids emotions. They say, I don't need anybody. I'm independent. They will be in a relationship. They will seduce at first to draw a relationship in, but then that's it. Their emotions are more flat like this. That person may be successful. That person does not admit to wrong. So we're gonna explore that more as well. So how that's how that person is showing up. I'm better than you. The dismissive avoidant, I'm better than you. I'm up here, you're down there. I'm right, you're wrong. That's how they show up. They live the world through that lens. Attachment styles. The second section of this series will look at learning about the other person. Does the other person have the ability to maintain a resilient relationship themselves? Remember those two poles? So if we're looking at a romantic relationship for sure, we want to have two strong poles. You want to be more equally in terms of your ability to maintain a healthy or a resilient relationship. So that means you're going to need to learn about the other person. I know in the dating world, they call it vetting. How long do you vet before you decide to move to the next level in a relationship? Vetting. So you're going to get to learn about the other person. That's really what relationships are about, anyways, is learning about the other person. We want the other person to learn about us and we learn about the other person. Now, this is all time sensitive. How long do I there's what I call levels of disclosure. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So how much do I disclose to this other person? How much do I want to know about this other person as well? What's appropriate, what's not appropriate? So one thing that we want to learn is how much do the other person know themselves? How much insight does this other person have about themselves? Do they know how to request what it is they want directly? Are they passive aggressive? Passive aggressive means they do something, maybe they melt down, they cry, they yell, they have temper tantrums, they bully. They overtalk you, they gaslight you. I'm going to go into all of those as well. So it's important to be sure that the other person knows what their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths, what are the things that they're working on that they would like to change. This is what a healthy, resilient relationship would look like. Um, does the person have the ability to take care of themselves? Are they completely consumed with one person, you, or a family member, or work, or do they have the ability to take care of themselves, or do they live a balanced life? Is there commitment? Do the person have the ability to commit, to be committed, to be loyal? Negotiate, problem solving. Can the person give and take, negotiate, problem solving? These are adult skills. Does the person have the ability to be in their adult when they need to, have fun when they need to? I call that being in your child or being in your adult. And also, does the person have the ability to humble themselves, or are they more like narcissists, or they are always right, or are they willing to listen? What's their communication style? And what's their attachment style? I mentioned attachment styles earlier. Are they a drama queen, drama king, preoccupied, anxious attachment style, fearful, avoidant, come close? Okay, that's enough, go away. Come close, go away. It's like a roller coaster. Or dismissive, avoidant, they dismiss. They feel they're one up. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. That's the dismissive avoidant. Or do they have a secure attachment style where that's all in balance? Does the person hold grudges? You can learn this pretty quickly because you'll hear them talk about other people. So that means listen more when you're trying to learn someone. You're going to study them, listen more. So, but you are going to vet them. You're going to learn about, do they hold grudges? Are they forgiving? Do they apologize and humble themselves? Can they recover from an injury? When someone wrongs them, there's an injury. Can they recover from that? That's the other person. In part three, we're going to learn about the relationship. Remember that volleyball net in the middle? We're going to learn about that. So, are we a fit? Do we fit together? Are we compatible enough? So that means in these areas, we've got our strengths, and each one of us have our strengths. Each one of us have our weaknesses. Can we fit? Do we have mutual respect for one another? Do we have the goal of healing whenever there's an injury? There's an injury, that's like a little hole in that net. And now we're going to fix it. Can we heal? Can we recover? Or is there intentional hurt? Is there intentional bitterness? Is there a punishing? Is someone a does someone punish holding a grudge and they can't come out of it? Is there rage? Is there arguing where we have issues and we just cannot get past them? Over and over and over again, oftentimes you run into the exact same issue and you can't move through it. Is the other person open for help? Are you open for help? Are you open for professional help? Do you need professional help? If you get stuck, sometimes professional help can help you see that you're not a fit. Trust. Do we have mutual trust? Do we have mutual commitment? Are we on the same page? Or is the person just going along something that you want? Or are you just going along? Are you here for out of obligation and you're going along with it? There are some important questions if we're looking at a romantic relationship. Children, do they want children or are they just going along with it? That's an example. Do they want marriage? Would they rather live together? Or are they just going along with it? These things are important. Communication skills. Can we talk things through? Does the both of us have the ability to go back and forth? Do we listen? Do we sit down and have conversations and we go back and forth? Are we able to clearly communicate what we need, what we want, what we like, what upsets us, what doesn't upset us? Do we have the ability to have fun together? Can we both have fun together? Can we love each other or remain connected in the good times, in the hills and the valleys? Can we remain connected even when I'm not around this person, even when we're at odds, even when things aren't going well, even if I'm upset or they upset, I know we're together. I know we're in there. We're connected. There's a feeling it's inside of connectedness. Is there mutual empathy, mutual compassion? So I'm going to take you through a questionnaire as we look at the relationship or the coupleship itself. So that's an overview of the Resilience in Relationships series.